This is Deepika from degree third year, and today we have gathered here to address seminars. So, seminars are essential components to enhance our public speaking and knowledge. They basically act as catalysts to our preparation. So, they also help in boosting our confidence. So, on that importance, today I quote my topic cryptocurrency. So before we go into the topic directly, let us just understand the strands it takes in the UPSC syllabus with respect to prelims and mains. So with respect to prelims, we have it in the current events issues because it is an emerging topic, because it is a research-based topic, it is a dynamic topic. So we obviously see these aspects in the in the current events, and also in the economic development because it is linked with our currency issues. And with respect to mains, we see it in the GS3, which is Economy and Science and Technology, the General Studies Paper 3. So now, before understanding what actually cryptocurrency is, let us just understand the evolution of money in order to understand how different cryptocurrency is. So if you check this particular paper right here in the slide, you see the evolution of money. First, there is a barter system. So we all know barter system is exchange of goods. But later, due to the coincidence of wants, it didn't flourish much. And then we shifted to the concept of gold. But this gold, it can't be carried all the times, right? We know it's heavy. So it can be carried all the times and cannot be used in all prospects. So that made us shift to coins, metal coins. But huge amounts of money cannot be compiled in coins. And that made us move into paper currency, which is the cash. And this cash is particularly nothing but paper. But why does it have value? Because government assures us that this particular paper that they are printing is worth the digit they are printing. For suppose if it's a 10 rupees, the government assures us that it is a 10 rupees paper, no matter what. And that is how we get trust and assurance from the government to use it anywhere in the country. And later, this kind of concept shifted to ATM machines or ATM banks or credit cards and debit cards, which what they actually do is they have their physical assistance, but they are used in a digital manner. And this concept later shifted to the electronic payments, which is the Paytm or PhonePe or other things that we see in today's world. But these concept also has its physical assistance. Like you give your money, you put your money into the banks, which is you put your cash into the banks, and that is what is transmitted into digital currency, right? But this concept of cryptocurrency is 100% virtual. Like you don't see it anywhere. It doesn't have any physical assistance, or it doesn't have any physical boundary, completely existing in the world of computers. So this basic cryptocurrency is, as you can see here, crypto is concealed and currency is medium of exchange. So this currency is basically a concealed currency, and it is concealed or protected by cryptography. So this cryptography is nothing but a study and practice of keeping information concealed away from the attackers. So this form of currency is a concealed and secured currency. So this is how the cryptocurrency is evolved, and it doesn't really it isn't really controlled by any system. Like if you see with respect to the banks or any other aspect, every form of currency until now we use was controlled by banks or some other central institution. But this particular system just works within the community and among the people. It is just like the encrypted data. That is why it's called as a concealed currency. And now that we understood what cryptocurrency is, I would like to tell you guys how it works. So it works based on blockchain technology. So this might sound something very technical to you guys. So to keep it simple, let's just take an example of, a hypothetical example, to be honest. And let's just take an example, as you see the pictures in the slide here, let's just take an example of a village where they don't use money, but instead they actually engrave the details of every transaction that they do on a stone block and cement it in the center of the village. Let's just assume that that is the process that's happening in a village. So these two people named John and Gavin, they were in that village and they did an exchange. With John, he swapped his 10 bags of wheat with Gavin's 10 bags of rice. So as per the rules, they engraved it on a stone block and then they cemented it. And the next day, Gavin exchanged his 10 bags of wheat which he actually got from John, with a girl named Jessie for her 10 bags of maize. So here another exchange took place, and this exchange was also engraved on a stone block and was also cemented. Like this, every other transaction took place in that village, and the blocks together were cemented and turned out to be a wall. As you can see here, they turned out to be a huge wall. And now as they are cemented, everybody can see it. So everybody in the village can actually see who did what transaction and how it is happening between the people in the village. And also nobody can alter those transactions because already they are built with the cement and bricks, already they are engraved. If you really have to take out a particular transaction out from that, you have to break everything, which means the whole wall is broken down. So nobody can actually reverse or alter that transactions. So based on this example of this hypothetical village, let's just understand blockchain technology. So blockchain technology is that kind of technology, which is a collection of data like these engraved walls of transactions. And they are linked together to each other, like how the stone blocks are connected to each other. And they are strongly resistant to any alteration or change. Like how I said, if one destroys everything gets down. And they are basically secured by cryptography. They are built upon cryptography and computer power and electricity. Like how these blocks are built upon cement, these cryptocurrency builds upon the cryptography, the computer power and electricity. That is exactly how this blockchain works. And if we look into the technical meaning of this, we find this as a type of database that is tamper-proof, cannot be exchanged, and is shared among multiple users. And the data is basically agreed upon the multiple users for it to be stored and verified. And so this is a common ledger, basically. It's like if you go to a bank and you avail a transactions, they basically give you a spreadsheet, which is written that you have done this transaction at this point of time to this person. So that is how a spreadsheet works. And this transaction, but in case of blockchain, the same spreadsheets go around the world. It is a public distributed ledger where everybody can see. But the only thing is that they're coded by a technology called hashing function. And if you look at the very right end of the slide, you can see 3 blocks. So let's just take this. This is how the blockchain technology in a physical, in its computer base works as. And if you take the example of the right side 3 blocks, let's just assume that they are named as 1 to 3 blocks. And first, suppose, in order to understand how strong it is and how it doesn't really alter, when you check this, just assume that there are 3 blocks, and in the second block, there is this thing in this that the information or the copy of the second block or the data present in the second block already has its copy in the first block. So, and if someone really tries to alter the second block information or data, the first block automatically identifies that it is a non-matching code. As I said, these transactions are not really said as transactions. For suppose if John and Gavin had a transaction based on this blockchain technology, they don't really show it like John gave these many to this person and this person gave these many back to John. It is not shown that way. Instead, they are coded. They are coded like they're coded in a way, in numbers and digits, they're coded so that people couldn't really know. But people know transaction took place, but they don't know what kind of transaction happened. So that is how it works. So basically, when this kind of altering happens, automatically it identifies that it is a non-matching code to the very first block. And when that happens, also in this transaction present, I said you that there is a public distributed ledger, right? So when that happens, basically it's like a notice board where people or a community can actually see what's happening and they can actually have a copy of it. It is just that it is coded. So in many other computers also around the world, this alteration is said that, they have a copy. And when somebody tries to change this particular block, that is not matched with the block that they have. The public distributed ledger, all the other computers have. And when these four don't match, and when this doesn't recognize, that particular block is considered as invalid, and the blocks below, like if second block is considered as invalid, the blocks below it, the third, fourth, fifth, all are considered as invalid. So people can't really bluff these kind of transactions. And this is to say how secure and how one cannot really alter and how secure this transaction is. And blockchain, now that we understood blockchain, it is not something that is limited to cryptocurrency. It can be used in many other sectors as well. And if we look into this prospects with respect to India, Niti Aayog has recognized blockchain technology as a promising technology because it enables the features like decentralization, transparency, and accountability. And Indian government is working for a unified blockchain framework along with the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology that can be useful in sectors like health, agricultural lands, and companies. So it doesn't really exist itself only with cryptocurrency. There can be any form of data that can be encrypted and secured using blockchain technology. Like if there are agricultural land records, those can be secured and can be placed in the public domain. So everybody gets this transparency, and that in turn ensures how it really is secure and helps people. And in the very right side of the slide, if you check, we have this National Strategy on Blockchain Technology, Government of India. So what this actually decides is this actually tells about the data, that is the blockchain business value with respect to the world from 2017 to 2030. So these are some facts that the strategy has revealed regarding the blockchain. So these kind of facts that by 2022, there are many innovative companies that will come up and it will be worth of $10 billion. By 2030, it's going to be 30% more. And by 2025, it's going to have $176 billion. So these kind of things are usually, these can be used in mains answer writing, if you can check. These kind of things give an extra edge to us to write the answers. And as we move on, as based on our understanding with this concept, let's just understand what is crypto mining and miners. So this might sound really something new to you guys. So let me just keep it in simple words. So now that we understood what blockchain technology is, we have to understand how they come into existence. For anything, there have to be a way, there have to be an existence for it to actually function. So how they came into existence, before explaining mining, let's just understand two concepts called as issuance and distributors. So issuance is nothing but a person who creates cryptocurrency, just like how RBI mints these coins and papers, the cash for us. The issuance is a person who creates this cryptocurrency. For example, I hope all of you have heard about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is basically a type of cryptocurrency. And it is the first ever cryptocurrency created by a pseudonym called Satoshi Nakamoto. So this person, this pseudonym is basically, until now, we don't even know if that person is actually a person or it's a group or what it is. But we do know that this particular named person invented this and created this in 2009. And it has its limit. It has like 21 million Bitcoins in it, like only 21 million Bitcoins. There is a limit to how many Bitcoins are present. And now coming to the distributors, they are the people who distribute these, and they actually find these coins and distribute these coins. Like these people are basically called as miners in the crypto world, and what they do is crypto mining. So now that crypto mining is really an important facet, let's just understand with the normal basis of how actually mining works. We all know we mine for resources, right? We do mining and take mining, we dig the earth and we take the resources. Let's just equate that process with this crypto mining to understand what actually crypto mining is. So as you see in the slide, I've equated the actual mining processing with the cryptocurrency mining. So if we assume mining is equal to the cryptocurrency mining, what do we do in mining? We take the resources, right? As how we take the resources in mining, we thrive or take cryptocurrencies in cryptocurrency mining. So we usually use tools, right, to mine. We use drilling machines, we use the other tools, other utensils to actually take these cryptocurrencies. So in the same way, in crypto mining, we use the computer power to actually crack up the codes and use get the cryptocurrencies, mine the cryptocurrencies. And what do we do? The process that we do is drilling, and we also use other equipments and we start hitting the ground. Nothing but, we just we just start drilling down to the point of earth where we get resources, right? And in the same way, in cryptocurrency mining, we solve complex mathematical problems. We, in the sense, the miners solve the complex mathematical problems here in order to get the cryptocurrencies. So basically, in a mining process, when there are more miners on an area of land, if there are more miners working, the difficulty of the task is going to be less because more people are going to dig in, and faster will be the resources coming out. But in case of crypto mining, there is a difference. In case of crypto mining, when there are more miners, the computer basically identifies that this particular thing is basically when there are more amount of miners in there, the computer identifies that there are more miners working on the same issue. When there are more miners working on the same issue, it understands this, and it itself automatically increases its complexity. So when there are more members working and solving the complex problems, this automatically increases its complexity or like its difficulty. So basically 10 years back, there was a basic computer was enough to solve these mathematical problems. Basic computer like what we had, Windows 7, Microsoft, that was enough to actually solve these mathematical problems. But as more miners increased in mining these cryptocurrencies, now gaming computers and other computers which high software are actually required to mine these cryptocurrencies. So these miners, they can actually do it in two ways. The miners can be individual and the miners can be a group. So these miners can do individually with mining rigs. So now what is mining rigs? Something new concept, right? So mining rigs is basically the equipments and software required to like mine these cryptocurrencies, like the GPUs, the graphic processing units. They are high-based softwares. So usually miners require these high-based softwares in the present world to mine these cryptocurrencies. And this can be done individually by any person, or they can set up a group. And these groups are nothing but the mining pools. So these mining pools, a group of miners work together and they mine these currencies. They not only mine these currencies, but they also process for validating the transactions. Like they process these transactions. I mean, they validate every transactions that is taking place around the world within two people. They validate that this transaction can be included into the block, and that is how it happens. And also, miners are rewarded with cryptocurrencies. Why do they mine? After all these effects, after all this everything, they do mine. But why? Because they are rewarded with cryptocurrencies for mining and validating these transactions. So in case of Bitcoin, as I said, is a type of cryptocurrency. In case of this Bitcoin, what happens is the compensation that they're given is actually halved. So in 2010, if miners get 12 coins on an average for a year, in 2014, that will be halved to 6 coins. So basically, that percentage of whatever they get is halved. And more miners equals to reliable and more secure network. So when there are more miners, there'll be more validations taking place. When there are more validations taking place, the transactions are going to be secure and there'll be no probable attacks to it. But also this particular concept of mining has its disadvantages. First thing is that it is costly work, because all the mining rigs and the high power computers cost more. We all know, right, that they cost really too much more than we expect. And second thing is that even after validating these transactions, even after they work in validating these transactions, some might not be actually rewarded. It's based on luck. Some might not be actually rewarded. And third thing is that when solving a complex mathematical problem, one has to be the first miner to arrive at the closest answer. As I said, it's just like a puzzle. It's just like a mathematical problem that you have to solve using the computer power. So in order to get the coins, in order to get a reward, that particular miner or person has to be the first person to actually get the right answer or the closest answer. That is when they are rewarded. And this is called as proof of work. So on this basis, let us check. These mining pools, as I've discussed, they work in groups. If you could see the picture, and more miners is equals to more difficulty. In 2009, the 200 Bitcoins were mined in just like few days. But as the number of miners increased, in 2014, one Bitcoin literally, this is just an example. It doesn't really take 98 years, but still, it is about one Bitcoin literally takes 98 years to actually mine it. So that is how the complex problems are going to be. So now that we understood what mining is and how miners are and how it really is, let's just understand how many types of Bitcoins are present. I mean, how many types of cryptocurrencies are present. So there are more than actually 4,000 cryptocurrencies, and many are there. But then these few that I've displayed here are the ones that actually have, they're actually in the race. They have their value. They're actually in the first 10 bases. So the first one is the Bitcoin, which is the first ever cryptocurrency. And the second one next to it, which is written as N, that is known as a name coin. The one next to that is known as a Ripple coin. And down to Bitcoin, you see Cardano, right? And next to that is known as Dogecoin. And next to that is Ethereum. So as I said about Dogecoin, this is something very interesting about Dogecoin. So this basically started as a meme. And basically two brothers found it funny and they just made a crypto out of it. They just found this funny, just found this memes funny, and they just made a crypto out of it in 2015. And people also found that interesting. You know, every new thing comes, every person tries to be enthusiastic and tries to be like, let's try something new. And that's how people found this interesting, and they started investing in it. And they started investing it to a stage where the Dogecoin price skyrocketed. And it's literally now in the unicorn stream. The unicorn stream is nothing but the top 10 coins or something that have a boost. And anything that has a boost or a price over a level is called as a unicorn stream. And basically this Dogecoin entered into that. And they actually also, they have this thing, they gain their value based on the scale of community involvement. And as we understand the types, let's just understand how they gain their value. Because most of you might have this doubt in your minds that after all, this is just a computer coding, and why does it have so much of value, and why are people investing? So before understanding that, let's just understand ways to achieve it. There are 3 ways to achieve a cryptocurrency. It can be by purchasing the cryptocurrency, and you can receive them in exchange for goods. And third one is mining them. We understood what the process of mining is. So they are basically valued based on utility and demand and supply. I know this right now sounds like a basic product, nothing but a product. Currency is something you buy. You used to buy a product, but this itself is seen as a product. I know it appears that way, but let's just understand how it actually gets a value. So utility in the sense, here it means that they gain their value based on the community involvement. Like how many people are involved in it, how many people are actually using it and circulating the money. It is in that basis, it is in the people's acceptance basis of payment. That is how it is, the utility basis is actually treated. And for example, let me just explain the demand and supply with the example. The one right side, this cartoon character right here, I'm sure many of you know about him, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. So what it says is that I like Dogecoin and I can make pump and dump moves when I want it with a simple tweet. So what does it say? So basically there came an issue where this person named Elon Musk, he basically tweeted on one word called Doge in Twitter, which means people assume that this person is really investing on Dogecoin and he is into it. That is when the market, due to this market speculation, people started investing in it, and the market, the price of the Dogecoin skyrocketed like hell. And also after this, later in the interview, in another interview, when this person was asked about this kind of Dogecoin concept, he just said that it was a hustle. Hustle is nothing but a rush. People are just rushing for it. There is nothing much to be concentrated on it. That was the kind of way he said it. And ultimately, this particular word which he literally used, it literally dropped the prices, because when people saw this, the tweets about it and everything about it, people thought maybe this is not how it works. And this is not because of the word he used. Here, that prices didn't drop because he used the word hustle. It dropped because it was the person. It drops because of the person, because that person is an influential person. That person is a very renowned person. Because that person used this word, it dropped. It just didn't drop because of the word. So another concept of demand and supply is that when there is an increase in the demand, just like a product, just like how a product works, this is how it works. When there is an increase in demand for cryptocurrency, there obviously be an increase in prices, and people who attain it, they try to sell it, right, to cash them, because there is an increase in prices. So this again leads to decrease in the buyers, because when the price increase, automatically people who cannot afford it, they lower their standards, and that's how the whole mechanism works. And when the buyers decrease, eventually the sellers decrease their price too, because they want it, at least they have to sell it, right? In order to sell it, the sellers decrease their price too. And this decrease in the prices again increases the buyers, because when the when there is a decrease in the price, there'll be more buyers coming in to actually chipping in to actually buy them. And when they want to buy that, again there'll be an increase in demand, because more buyers are chipping in, and this cycle continues just the way it is. And it is nothing but, in a sense of manner, it is nothing but when people invest their fiat money or invest their currency, the paper currency, in the cryptocurrency, they are increasing the base of crypto circulation. They're increasing the base of currency circulation in this crypto world. So they're increasing its value. So it's basically like when you take 2 glasses of water, and one glass has more amount of water and the second glass has less amount of water. So when somebody pours in some amount of water present in one into the 2, obviously the second glass of water will increase. And that is how it works. When the circulation of money is pushed into this crypto world, the circulation of that particular money is revolving around the crypto world and making it increase its value. And after all this, I know after all this, it's just a computer coding. You might be having these thoughts that it's just a computer coding, and why are people all over about it? To be honest, why do they have to invest it in the very first place? And now that gets me to the point that, let's just take an example. Why do we think that diamonds have a value? Why do you think they're valuable? Like, it is said that because it is said that they are rare, because it is said that they have they're precious, they are they have all these properties, so they are rare. It is said that. But according to me, I say that we created a value to it because we believe diamonds are valuable, because we believe the concept that diamonds have a value and are valuable. That is when people started investing it. And there was an artificial kind of scarcity created to these diamonds. They're saying that it is rare and we created it with, it is in scarcity. So it has its highs and lows. So, for example, other than diamond, back then in centuries, if people believe that a copper is more valuable, then in today's world, copper would have been more valuable than diamonds. We would have bought copper using $1 billion maybe. Who knows? It just depends on how we think and how we believe it was valuable. And to this, I'll give an example that in 1938, diamonds, there was a marketing speculation that diamonds are forever. This particular quote was used, and this basically skyrocketed the diamond demands, and people started investing in it. And there are many mines in Africa which actually have diamonds in in a very huge demand. But why? People started investing in it because people believed that diamonds have a value, because people believed that diamonds are valuable, and people have this assured that and the market speculation assured that diamonds might have a value, and that's when people started investing in it. And that is the same speculation goes with cryptocurrency as well. People believed that cryptocurrency has a value. People believe that cryptocurrency is believed to have a value, and that is how people started investing in it. This is the whole concept of market speculation and how thinking is and how we believe what it is. So based on this understanding, now that all of this are said to you, let's just understand advantages of this particular cryptocurrency. First thing is that it is decentralized, which means there is no government or no banks or any entity controlling it. It basically works among the community, and there is no intervention of transactions or happening within the bank or the government with respect to cryptocurrency. It is completely transparent. Like, people can actually see, although they are coded, people can actually see that this transaction took place at this point of time and here and here. So that is a decentralized model, and that is something that ensures transparency, accountability in the country. And second thing is that there can be no counterfeit currency and no double spending happening. So counterfeit currency is nothing but fake currency. Like, Fake currency is when it is not issued by the government and when somebody else prints it out with other than government. That is what it is called as a fake currency, right? That is what is counterfeit currency. And in double spending is generally where this basically happens in digital currency. Double spending, the concept of double spending actually happens in digital currency. It is where a person could make a copy of digital currency and send it to a merchant or another party while keeping the original with him. So that can happen with respect to digital currency. He or she can create a copy. And what does this cryptocurrency do? It eliminates this kind of process by miners. What do miners do? They actually verify the transactions. When they verify the transactions, they'll know that it is a copy or what it is, and that is when the transaction is verified and approved. And that is how this cryptocurrency doesn't ensure any double spending to take place. And counterfeit currency also, in case of cryptocurrency, we cannot, because it's a computer coding, we cannot make any counterfeit to it. We cannot make a code similar to that. Also, if you could make also, it will be eliminated in the verification. So that is how the second advantage it takes place. And third thing is a global currency. So when you or me or somebody, we go to US, what do? In order to do shopping there, we exchange our rupees with the US dollars. So in order to move here and there in that particular country, right, we need US dollars. But here, you don't need that. You don't really, because it's not a country currency, but a global currency where everyone around the world can literally use the same form of currency. There is no need to change the currency. There is no need to exchange it with some other country's rupees or something like that. So that is another easiest advantage that we have got here with respect to cryptocurrencies. And the fourth advantage is that it has 24 hours accessibility and no limit. So this particular concept is that we have bank accounts and we have Paytms that have these limitations that only at this from this time to the other time we are supposed to do any transactions. After this, you can do. We have this kind of restrictions with respect to bank apps or any bank apps or with respect to any other issues. And with respect to Paytms and other apps, what we have is we have a limit. I mean, we have a time bound and they are time bound, they're limited. Like, for suppose if you have to get money into your Paytm account, you have to first get it from your bank account and then to your Paytm account. But bank account has these limitations, right? That only this amount of money can be put into your Paytm account, just this amount of money. There is a limit. But in cryptocurrency, you don't have that limit. Up to how much ever cryptocurrencies can be situated into your account. There is no limit to that. And there is no concept of black money. Concept of black money is nothing but something that is earned and that taxes are not paid to it, to the government. That is when it is called as black money. And when everything is situated in the public distributed ledger, when every transaction is detailedly told in the ledger, there is no chance of black money acquired in this concept, which is a really good thing. And the last one is absolute anonymity. Absolute anonymity is that it is just coded. You don't have anything that actually tells you that this is the person. You don't have any username or something like that. It is, everything is coded. You have these two aspects in this anonymity, which is public key and private key. Public key is like your username. Username, everybody knows your username, but private key is your password. So it works based on that system. And also every transaction is not, as I told you, everything is coded. That is an advantage to it. So that is why, as you can see in the right side of this slide, you see the Burger King starts accepting Dogecoin in Brazil, but only for dog treats. Anyways, they're still accepting, the cryptocurrency is being accepted by many established companies. So that is what it says about the transforming economy. And also Tesla, at first it said that it will no longer accept Bitcoin, but later it'll again accept it. So there is a base created by these companies that they are going to accept it and moving this cryptocurrency into the future of the world. After all this, any development has its pros and cons. And that takes me to the disadvantages of cryptocurrency. So very first thing is that it is volatile, high volatility. Volatility is that it just goes up and down. As I said, it works on demand and supply based on the market speculation. The prices differ from each day. From each day, the prices differ. And if you could see the meme at the very top right end, it says that person is a very familiar person, Obama. So what he says is that his expression was kind of irritated and like that when it says that losing $3 because you forgot your student card, because that is a fiat money, that is the currency, that you're not going to get it back once you paid for it. You're just going to you paid a fine because you're giving it, you're not getting it back. But here he kind of gave this not a big deal kind of vibes when it said that losing $3,000 because of crypto price swings, which means that he knows the volatility. He knows that the volatility is in such a way that although if we want to, he knows that at some point of time these prices may increase and these prices may decrease. So that is the volatility present. If they increase, it's fine. He could still be giving that I don't care expression. But what happens if the prices actually decrease? The same expression is going to be reversed, right? That is what it is. It doesn't have any assurance like how we have for the fiat money. The fiat money, the reserve banks assure us that this is 10 rupees, how much ever the prices increase or decrease. This value is not going to change. But with respect to cryptocurrency, the values change just like how the products change. How the product's price change, the value of the cryptocurrency also changes based on market speculations. And that is something which is a basic and a very disadvantageous thing about this cryptocurrencies. And second thing, it is they are non-reversible. As I told in the blockchain technology that they cannot be altered. Once they are done, they are not reversible. So if one person does some kind of mistake when doing this kind of transaction, done. There is no way coming back. That is how it is another disadvantage of it. And the third one is that it has security issues like theft of mobiles and cyber crimes. So basically, theft of mobiles is that everything that we manage generally goes with our mobiles, any kinds of transaction. And if your mobile is gone, every money of your aspect of digital currency is gone. And with respect to cyber crimes, there is this important thing that recently took place, like in the 11th of August of 2021. If you could see on the top part of the slide, hackers, they steal over $610 million in the major, and this is also called as a major cryptocurrency theft. So hackers, they formed a group, and in a group, they actually attacked the cryptocurrency system. So it is major thing to the cyber attacks. So that is another very hard concept of it. And the fourth disadvantage is that the understanding the concept itself is hard, because surveys have shown that 1 out of 10 people understand how it actually works, how the cryptocurrency works, and 1 out of 3 investors know little to nothing about it. Although they're investing in that, although they're working in that particular speculation, they don't even know what they're doing. Like 1 out of 3 people know a very little about it. That is what the survey said. And just check out the very right end of the page, there is a meme who said crypto was stressful. I'm 25 and I feel great. He is 25, but he looks like 75. That is how, understanding the concept it is. Like, it's kind of hard. And with India being a country, although we have literacy rate is 77.3%, but literacy rate is something, a person is called as a literate when he knows how to read and write. But education is something different. Education is inculcating values and at the same time understanding this modern concepts. And to understand that, India has to have some kind of skill management that really makes this understand. Other than that, there is no other aspect that is going to make this boosting of their understanding. And the fifth disadvantage is that environmental issues. As we all know, this completely works on electricity. It uses a lot of computer power. It basically where the electricity comes from, although some of it is coming from the present days solar energy, most of it is coming from burning the fossil fuels, which is burning the coal. And that is another huge environmental issue. More amount of electricity used, more the fossil fuels are going to be burnt. So that is another environmental issue with this. And absolute anonymity, as we have discussed, it has its pros and cons. In the advantage, it ensures security. But with respect to disadvantage, black marketing takes place. Because nobody knows what is happening, nobody actually knows who is trading with what and what transactions are taking place. And that creates this black marketing issue with respect to disadvantages. And the very last disadvantage is government taxing. So basically, the government tax is based on your income. And this volatility of cryptocurrency defines the taxes. Generally, how much, when your income is stable, your taxes are going to be stable. But when, especially miners have this issue. If a person is completely involved in mining, whatever he does is just mining, his currency, his whatever his work is literally based on mining work. And when that happens, the government taxing is basically in such a way that it changes based on how the volatility of cryptocurrency is. And as you can see the meme here, the government, when you lose money in crypto, it says that I told you it's risky and volatile. And the very same government, when you make a profit in crypto, it asks you for tax. That is how it just takes away the money with you. And that is another disadvantage. But this is a disadvantage to make you understand how it works. You don't really have to write this into the disadvantages basically in a mains answer. That's literally going to be a huge problem. So don't really write this government taxing thing. But I'm just telling this so that you can understand the prospects of how important it is. And these are all prospects when the present world, in the present stage, if the world directly shifts to cryptocurrency, these are the disadvantages it's going to face. And with respect to India and cryptocurrency, so as per now, there is no legal legislative framework that actually governs cryptocurrencies in India. But in 2017, RBI put on a circular banning all the regulated entities from using this cryptocurrency. And banning of cryptocurrency, and there was also a bill that was released, proposed a bill, which says banning of cryptocurrency and regulation of official digital currency bill of 2019. And it was placed proposing for an absolute ban on private cryptocurrencies and ensuring and establishing a digital rupee that is backed by the RBI. And this particular concept, the Supreme Court struck down these restrictions, and now cryptocurrency in India is not banned. It is not illegal as well, but it is not regulated also. It is not regulated. And this particular case with respect to RBI is called as Internet and Mobile Association of India versus RBI. So this led to another proposal in 2021, which is Cryptocurrency and Regulation of Official Digital Currency Bill of 2021. And this bill is to ensure a central bank digital currency to be issued. And regarding private currencies, there is no context yet. The government didn't release any context regarding the private cryptocurrencies. There is no any guidelines released or anything of the pace is released. But despite all this happening in the world and in India, the coin DCX is India's first cryptocurrency unicorn that raised the value of 6.7 billion rupees, which is almost around $90 million. So this basic coin DCX is basically India's first cryptocurrency. This actually raised to the unicorn heights, which is it skyrocketed its value. And now that is done, let's understand the status of this particular cryptocurrency in other world. In the world as a whole. These are few prospects where in few areas it is legal, in few areas it is not. It's not. It is legal, but not really into the market. And in some areas it is restricted, and in some areas it is illegal. These are a few prospects. And as we go into the understandings and everything, cryptocurrency is based on how we actually see it and how it manages in the economy. So it can either be a greater investment, or it can be a gambling, because it has a volatility. It can be a gambling. And when you do a proper basing investment, it can be something great as well. And it is based on how the market fluctuates and how it's standardized in the economy. So it is still in the research stage. It is yet in the research stage and yet to be brought changes. There are many changes that are yet to be brought into this. There are many things that have to be done. So it is still in the research stage. And either of the way, we all know that the world is definitely induced in the digital currency. There is no other way out. And the future of the world is definitely going to be digital currency. But making few changes in this cryptocurrency and enabling some research into it will make it a best way of transactions in the world. And now that we understood what cryptocurrency is and how it actually enables everything in the world and how it manages and how it works, let us understand with respect to UPSC how it is important. I mean, what are the type of questions that came? So in the previous year of prelims, the prelims questions that came were Bitcoin. The first question that came was in 2018, a prelims question. So Bitcoin is an example of which of the following: fiat cryptocurrency, non-fiat cryptocurrency, plastic money, and fiat money. So this basically is, this came in 2018. Can anyone, I'll relate this to something. It came in 2018 when the RBI actually released a circular. I've told you in the before context that RBI actually released a circular based on this. So based on that current event concept, we got that into this prelims. So it's basically a non-fiat cryptocurrency. It doesn't have a physical existence. So the answer is B. It is a non-fiat cryptocurrency. And in 2020, the Supreme Court actually strike that whatever RBI told, it strike that out. And that is when this blockchain technology again came into the prelims questions. And which is, the question is, with reference to blockchain technology, consider the following statements. First one is that it is a public ledger that everyone can inspect, but which no single user can control. That is true, as I've told you. And the second thing is that the structure and design of blockchain is in such a way that all the data are about cryptocurrency only. No, they are not about cryptocurrency. I told you the blockchain technology can be used for health sector. It can be used for any form of data. And the third statement is that applications that depend on basic features of blockchain can be developed without anybody's permission. Yes, the basic features can be developed without anybody's permission. So the answer is 1 and 3 only. So these two questions were asked based on the current events context of India. And coming to the mains questions, until now there aren't any mains questions on cryptocurrencies, especially because it is an emerging topic. There aren't until now any questions because in the recent basis it gained prominence. So in the coming years there could be more questions coming up on cryptocurrency. There could be more questions coming up on this particular concept. And because RBI is again, I mean, around the world people are working on it and still it is in the research state, we can expect more questions in the future UPSC exams, because any new improvement into that technology, definitely a question is going to be into it, because that is going to be the future of the world. And with respect to this particular question, this can be, I mean, this is an assumed question, like these kind of questions can be asked. And this question says, how far do you think unregulated cryptocurrency can facilitate financial inclusion in India, and also highlight the changes associated with regulation of this currency? So this basically says, I mean, how do we write this question? First, we explain what cryptocurrencies are, and we say what financial inclusion is. Financial inclusion is including everybody into this concept of banking, right? And just say we explain how cryptocurrencies enhance this financial inclusion, and what are the other disadvantages, like the disadvantages we discussed, how these disadvantages are going to not enable the financial inclusion, and with respect to the challenges, how they are faced within the country, the basic amenities that we require in order to challenge, associate the challenges. That is how this question can be dealt. And on this note, cryptocurrencies may not be a really very important topic right now, but in the coming era, it is going to be an important topic. As for now, we've just seen the basics, but when there is a research happening place, and when there are like many changes taking place in the economy and many other research amenities coming up, we can inspect and we can expect more questions into the UPSC mains and prelims. And on that note, I take a leave. Thank you.